You're listening to The Manning Report with your host, James David Manning. The news behind the headlines.
I want to get started today with the subject matter called rumors of wars. And what I want to be able to get started with, a couple of things. One is that the backstory to this is everybody knows that Tribulation Trump, that the Iranians shot down an American drone that was in Iranian airspace. Come on now, you know that drone was in not in American airspace, but it was in Iranian airspace there in the Gulf of Hormuz, right? We know that, or Gulf of Oman, I'm sorry. Strait of Hormuz in the Gulf of Oman. We all know that drone was in Iranian airspace, because that's the kind of shenanigans that Tribulation Trump pulls. They shot it down. The Iranians shot that bad boy down and then collected it out of the sea and they put it on display. Since then, I haven't heard anybody like Mike Pompeo, Tribulation Trump, anybody saying, well, it was in international water. They lied. But so now Tribulation Trump said he's going to get even with the Iranians for shooting down the drone. So he called the generals together, the Pentagon, and decided he's going to do a strike against the Iranian people, right? I'll let the engineer roll the clip. We'll take it from here.
And what happened last night?
Well, you had a situation that was very bad because the night before they shot down an unmanned drone. And the unmanned is a very big factor, the fact that there was not a person on it, a U.S. person on it or anybody. And that had an impact on me. I said, well, you know, we got a little problem. And I think they did that on purpose because they understand that they will be hit very hard if that were a plane with a person in it. And I think they knew that there was nobody there. So we had a very, modest but pretty heavy attack schedule.
And this was a pre-plan that you had, something that if they did something, you had something. These were sort of ready-made plans
we have
to
many
use
of them.
if necessary.
Oh, I have so many targets you wouldn't believe.
Right.
We have targets all over.
So did you green-light something, or had you said, if we do it, I'll do this? What was the order you gave?
Nothing is green-lighted until the very end because things change, right?
So you never gave a final order?
No. But we had something ready to go subject to my approval. And they came in, and they came in about a half an hour before. They said, sir, we're about ready to go. I said, I want a better
planes
definition.
In the air? Were planes in the air?
We're about ready to go.
Yeah.
No, but they would have been pretty soon. And things would have happened to a point where you wouldn't turn back or couldn't turn back. So they came and they said, sir, we're ready to go. We'd like a decision. I said, I want to know something before you go. How many people will be killed? In this case, Iranians. I said, how many people are going to be killed? Sir, I'd like to get back to you on that. Great people, these generals. They said, came back, said, sir, approximately 150. And I thought about it for a second. I said, you know what? They shot down an unmanned drone, plane, whatever you want to call it. And here we are sitting with 150 dead people that would have taken place probably within a half an hour after I said, go ahead. And I didn't like it. I didn't think it was proportionate.
Now, to use Joe Biden's term, that boy is lying. That boy Trump, that boy lying. That boy is lying. There may have been plans to strike someplace in Iran. I'm not discounting that. And the generals but what he's lying about is that the generals had informed him of which place they were going to strike, whether it was some sort of military dump or some sort of factory or railway station or something of that nature, and gave him all the stats about what that particular strike would incur, such as how many people are there, how many deaths potentially would happen. No general makes an assessment of what to strike without giving all of the details. Jesus said this: nobody sits down to build a structure without first counting the cost, unless you're an idiot. Nobody sits down to build a house or a structure, but you first count the cost. Trump is saying that they were getting ready to strike, and 10 minutes before the strike, he then inquired, well, he knew what the strike was going to be. He knew when it was going to take place. He knew what was going to happen. But he claims he didn't know how many people would die as a result of the strike. The boy is lying. The boy is lying. That's just all there is to it. You know, and the Iranians said he may have called the strike off when he discovered that it was going to be 150 people that would die. And proportionately of the shooting down of an unmanned drone, especially one that was in Iranian waters or territory, would not be proportionate. But the other thing is that Trump ain't got the heart. Mr. Engineer, you found that verse for me that, you know, for which you intended to build a tower and sit if not down first and counted the cost, whether it have sufficient to finish or not. And Trump had not counted the cost. He go this strike. Anyway, that's Jesus talking to Trump. He's lying. But the other thing I think is very important here that we have to, and this is what Trump does. This is who he is, and all of his followers, you know, like Trump, like people, like President, like people. The people that follow Trump are liars like him. Like all my black friends I used to hang out with, people like Jesse Lee Peterson, you know, they're liars just like Trump. They're liars. They are liars and phonies and frauds just like Trump. Like President, like people. He's a liar. Trump lying through that wig he got on his head. But that ain't all. So he says he called it off. Now the Iranians are saying that the reason why Trump called the event, because he ain't got the guts, he ain't got the stomach. He's not man enough to strike Iran and kill people. He ain't man enough. And they're absolutely right about that too. Trump ain't never, I don't suppose he's ever really killed anybody. I don't know, maybe he has, but I know he's probably beat up a whole lot of women. He'll beat women, but I don't think he's gonna beat a Muslim. Trump will attack women all day long. He attacked a woman on the airplane. She was sleeping and he attacked her. He attacks women. He said he grabs them by the you know what, and they love it. But he ain't gonna attack no Muslim. I can tell you that right now, homie. Trump ain't gonna attack no Muslim. He'll attack women all day long, but they ain't gonna attack nobody big enough to fight him back. No, Trump ain't gonna attack and the people that support Trump don't just like him. They ain't got no guts either. Never seen anything like this in all my days. So here's what Trump does, right? So this story breaks because he hadn't thought it through. He had not thought that the lie he just told to Chuck Todd, he didn't realize how stupid it sounds. How is it you, the commander-in-chief, didn't know what the outcome would be? How is it that you didn't know how many people are going to be killed? When that happened, guess what he did? He changed the conversation, said, well, I'm going to raid, I'm going to round up 1 million of illegal immigrants in all the major cities and send them back to Mexico or Guatemala, or Nicaragua, El Salvador. I'm going to raid, over the weekend, ICE is going to pick up 1 million detainees. Oh, he wasn't going to do any of that either. But that changes the conversation. That's how the boy operates. That's how the boy operates. He just changes the subject matter. So they start talking about all the illegal immigrants and aliens, if you want to call them, that are going to be rounded up by ICE and sent back. Then he changed his mind and said he's going to postpone that too. He just changed the subject. When he gets caught in the lie, he changes the subject. That's who he is, and that's who his low-life followers are. Like president, like people. Every time you see a Trump supporter, you know you're looking at a liar, you're looking at a fraud. Any Trump supporter, especially those like Jerry Falwell Jr., whose wife was getting it on with a 25-year-old Cuban boy down there in the Fontainebleau Hotel. He was jamming it up with her, and it's on record. And Jerry Falwell Jr. paid $1.8 million to keep his wife, you know what, from being spread all over the internet. And we all know it. But the thing of it is, that's the big clicker here, is that Tribulation Trump's fix-up Michael Cohen also got the photos, and Tribulation Trump went down to Liberty University and said, Jerry Falwell Jr., if you don't endorse me as president, I'm going to put these pictures of you and her Cuban lover on the web. And there you have it. And Jerry Falwell Jr. has been bound down to Tribulation Trump worse than Mike Pence. That's right. That's right. That 25-year-old, tall, strapping, good-looking Cuban boy was getting it on with Becky Falwell. That's right. That's right. And Trump got the goods. So he lies. And he lies and lies more. He changes the conversation when he gets caught in one lie and moves on to some other. but we got to call him out as lying. Me, I'm James David Manning, everybody. I'm the Lord's servant. I got a whole lot more standing by. I'll be right back. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.